Hey guys, so in the last video, Ben Jordan was looking at this code on a tree and it said it was the witch code, and I was kind of weirded out by that because I was like, how does he know it's a witch code? But actually there is a reason why he knows it's a witch code, and it's because it's in his Paranormal Investigator's Handbook. And while you can't look at the handbook while you're in the game, you can look at the handbook folder that comes with this game. So I'm going to do that right now. It's got quite a few pages. Looks like there are 4 pages you can read, and I'm not going to read all of them, but there is one that's particularly important. It's this page right here. As you can see, it's got that symbol that we saw on Wilma Wiggins' wall, the murder symbol. Let's see. The witch code. One aspect that truly distinguishes the white witch from the black is the use of the witch code. Generally, this code is only used by black witches to spread notices of wicked deeds done. In fact, they have developed a special symbol which signifies that a murder has occurred. See figure 1 right here. The code itself is what appears to be an alphabet consisting of a set of markings. Unfortunately, sightings of the code are so rare that as of this publication, only a partial translation is available. Nevertheless, here are a few symbols that we do know of. If you should encounter these marks on a case, proceed with extreme caution, as people who have made them are more than likely mentally unsound. So here we have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Well, that's more than half of the alphabet, but actually if you try to translate the message we saw on the tree, it's not really that helpful. Basically, you can figure out things with, A and T, but apart from that, I don't think you can really do that much else. So we're going to have to figure out the rest of the witch code later on in the game. Yeah, I think that's about it for now, so I'll go back to the game. See you there. Welcome back to the prison. Now that we've had our lovely conversation with Mary Blaine, we have nothing to do. Now, I think it's about time we break into Smailholm Tower, now that we have a handy-dandy crowbar with us. You might notice that I turned down the volume a bit, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Sound's gonna get really loud in a second, like obnoxiously loud. Hello, tree. Okay, here we go. This had better work. There we go. Using the crowbar, you pry out the lock. Yay! And it's nice because we still have our crowbar. I really hate it when you're playing a game and you get a crowbar and then you try to use it on something and it breaks after one use. I think that's just kind of stupid. But we get to keep our crowbar. And this is the loud music I'm talking about. I turned it down so it's probably not too bad, but it really hurts my ears if I turn it up to normal volume. Anyway, you're inside the Smailholm Tower. It's really not as spectacular as you'd imagined. Yeah, I think people were kind of exaggerating there. An old tapestry of King Arthur. Somehow it seems a bit out of place in here. Is that a hint? Remembering countless examples of things hidden behind medieval tapestries, you look behind it. Unfortunately, all you find is dust. So much for that old theory. Oh, Francisco Gonzalez, you caught me again. Curses. How about these books up here? The books on the top shelf seem to be old diaries. And the books on the bottom shelf are all about the history of Smailholm. Well, surely some of these must be important, right? You browse the books, pull one out at random, and read a passage. This diary hasn't got a name, and only one entry. It says, March 4th, 1830. Bob, I'm sure you'll read this. I am leaving you for the banker. Say hello to the cats for me. Yikes. This diary belongs to the Reverend Gideon Brown and dates back to 1689. It reads, I don't bloody care if they're William and Mary. I ain't praying for them. Let's see those church bastards throw me out. I'd like to see 'em try. Wow. This diary is very old. The date on it says 1303 and the handwriting is awful. It says, King Edward and I today came through the town. He's much shorter than I thought. That's not very nice. It's very interesting diaries. Is that the same? Yeah, I think we're repeating ourselves. How about this stuff down here? Smailholm Church with its associated graveyard stands at the highest point of Smailholm village. The present church probably stands on the site at the original Norman church. The nave is at the west end of the church with a smaller and narrower chancel. The north aisle contains the vestry and is probably from a Boit 1820. It's interesting spelling. The birdcage belfry contains a Burgerhuisbell something, dated 1647. I'm not gonna read that. You can read it yourself. I think that's the same thing. Yeah, too long to read. Too long, don't read. Well, it doesn't seem like there's anything. It feels like wood. A lot of things feel like wood. Can we escape through there? Nope, it doesn't open. Well, it seems as though there's nothing important about this place, but if you actually look around... Aha! You notice that this one floorboard is brighter than the others due to the light falling on it. Okay, well, maybe it's important? The floorboard seems a little loose, but there's not much you can do with your bare hands. But there is something we can do with our handy-dandy crowbar. Love this crowbar. Using the crowbar, you pry off the floorboard. Wahahaha! We pried off a floorboard. Now that it's been removed, there's a gaping hole in the floor. You search in the hole and find what appears to be an old diary. This is kind of reminiscent of Laura Bow 1. You browse through the diary. It belongs to Edgar McGraw and dates back to the 1950s. McGraw writes that odd happenings in Smailholm, how several people in town never seem to age, and how every so often a mysterious murder would occur. The final entry catches your attention. August 12th, 1954. I have no doubt that there is a witch cult in this town. I saw them in the woods. It was they who killed those 2 children, and I am sure they will kill again. God help us all. They have lived in Smailholm for years, and they have no intention of leaving. Our town is cursed. You also find a separate page which you tear out. It has a partial translation of the witch code on it. Yes! Is this all of it? Yes, it is. Now I can finally translate that tree. But we'll have to do that in the next video because I think I'm about to hit 10 minutes. So, see you next time. Wow, those look like breasts. See you next time.